Hey, Alex Kennis here. Recently, Angus over on Maker's Muse. You probably know who Angus is, but check out his channel if you don't. He's another multidisciplinary maker, but he has an industrial design background, which gives an interesting slant on things, because it's less technical and more practical. But a while back, he started a trend of something called a maker coin, and he put out a video recently that kind of explains what it is, how it developed, and refers to his Fusion 360 CAD video on how he created them. And I watched that and it sort of guilted me into making my own, because it's a cool idea. And he inadvertently kind of started a thing. So since it's become this sort of rite of passage for online makers, I figured I'd make a quick video of me tossing together my own maker coin based on the rough size and shape of Angus's. And that also give me an opportunity to show everybody why I prefer direct solid modeling. Maybe you'll take a look at this video and be like, that's not so hard. I could get into CAD. So anyway, here we go. Well, first thing, drop a torus down and put it to what I think is a diameter. You have a major radius of the actual cylinder, and then you have the diameter of the whole circle itself. Then I'm just going to drop a cylinder inside and match the radius to it, and that should fill it out nicely. Now we have to make our kind of divot in the middle, so I'm just going to grab a sphere, guess about like 50, and then use the magnet tool to drop it on top and sink it down inside. After I got that where I want it, duplicate the sphere, and then subtract it from each the cylinder and the donut. And this is kind of what we end up with. Then I'm going to use the addition tool to make these one solid instead of two solids. And then I think I want the lip around the edge there to be a little bit wider. So I'm just going to take a box and make it huge, and then snap it to that lip with the magnet tool and move it down like 0.5 millimeter or so. Then we can subtract it from the total solid at the bottom there and get a little bit of a wider lip. Now we have to make the divots in the side, so I'm going to switch to the bottom and then just draw a circle right in the middle here and just put it out just past the torus a little bit. And then draw another circle, and I want to use that to just duplicate it along the path of the larger circle. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to use a solid cylinder instead. That's going to be easier to show. So drop that down there, and then go up and use the multiply tool, and you're going to make a circular pattern, selecting the cylinder as your solid, and then the circle is the radius, and you just drag around. I think I'll make like 7 of these. That looks kind of cool. Then you can delete your circle because that's just a construction line, and select your main solid, and then use the subtract tool to just select all of those little cylinders from around the edges. And boom, that's it. We have a maker coin. Now we just have to add a logo. And I did that already in a previous video, so I'm just going to drop it in here and then show you how that works. Now, you don't have to do an SVG to 3D conversion. You can just kind of import it in here, or drop it in and actually draw it with the drawing tools. And that's pretty easy. You can use like splines and polylines and things like that. But since I already had this done, I figured I'd just save a little time and put this on there. It's an STL already, so I can just use all the scaling tools and the movement tools and all that kind of stuff, and just sort of get it in there how I want it. I sort of want the little edges of the logo to overlap the flat spot a little bit. And then I'll just scale up the height of it a little bit with the scaling tool here, and drop it inside so that I can sort of overlap it where I want it. This I'm going to make clear so that I can see a little bit better. I don't want it to go, because I want to make two coins, one where this is sort of a relief, and the other where I take the logo and actually cut it out of the coin. So this makes it a little bit easier to see that. And I'm just going to fiddle around with it, and that's about it. I mean, there's our maker coin right there, basically. Let me zoom out here, and I'll make the whole thing a solid again so you can see what it looks like a little bit better. Boom. Now we just export it as an XTL and see what it looks like in our slicer. I have a 0.6 millimeter volcano nozzle on the printer that's just to my left, and that's going to kind of fuzz out some of these details a little bit. You can see the thin walls there probably aren't going to look that great. So I may go back and thicken up the logo and try it again, and I think I'm definitely going to try printing the version with the cutout logo first. Thanks for indulging me with this video. I'll be getting another video out probably tomorrow. So until then, get out there and make something awesome.